fellow speakers, and guests. It's a pleasure to evaluate an F2 which focuses on the construction of the speech, having a clear beginning, middle and end. This speaker started with a clear salutation, which is really important to make sure that the audience is ready to listen to the speech. The well-chosen subject was introduced with which we didn't realise at the beginning, with a definition from Wikipedia of what is ginger. And very interesting, it was clear to us what the subject matter was going to be. However, it was a very good segue and used humour to get us into what the story was actually about, which was her own personal experience of ginger. Use of humour is actually a much later stage, so congratulations on the speaker for being able to introduce it, and also used further on in the speech another use of humour when she referred to the milkman and her son being ginger. The subject was well developed and followed her own personal experience with ginger and a story, which is also a higher level achievement. There was a good use of vocabulary such as syrupy and frothy, yeasty and whirling. This is again more advanced level than just speech construction. This speaker has a good clear voice, used some natural gestures, moving hands, but nothing necessarily specific to the topic that was being explained. So this would be a learning point, but this of course comes at as an F4, so nothing to worry about, it's just a point of note. Yes, the handling of the audience, and again in this very strange format, all of that conveyed confidence and connection with the audience. The conclusion, so a good construction and a conclusion was important for this speech. And it ended with a summary, really, of all the foods that this particular speaker enjoyed, focusing on the theme of ginger. Overall, it was a great performance. A learning would be these particular gestures, and in view of the fact that we've got a somewhat wobbly lectern, then avoiding touching it is better, and keeping your hands more natural, and maybe by yourself, which I'm not a very good demonstration of. The timing was slightly over what was mentioned, but as the original time was 6:30 and went on to 6:58, it was still within the usual 8-minute time for the speech. So recognizing for this speaker that actually when we read and we practice, that we're tending to go slower than when we're actually doing the speech. And for some people it's the reverse, and the nervousness about speaking leads people to speak faster. So it's recognizing which of these categories you fall into. Having read the manual, and they said, be careful with your timing, because when you speak you tend to be quicker. My experience is actually I'm much slower when I'm doing my speeches. So it's important to have that distinction. So this was the case with this particular speaker. So it leaves me to say, well done on getting a clear beginning, middle and end, and moving on to your S3.